What's good, everybody? It's Full-Time Trip. We're back in the building. Arsenal 0, PSG 1 at the Emirates Stadium for the UCL Semi-Finals Leg 1. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Not going to take too long here, but it was a bad result. Could have been a lot worse, but it wasn't a good result today, y'all. It wasn't a good performance overall. Only a couple superlatives I can give some people, but just wasn't what we wanted to see. I can start from back to front, but again, the only major goal and instance here that happened was again, first damn near 5 minutes of the game. I felt like it was 3 minutes. Again, just ball from the inside. I think it was Due or Faricelli or somebody from the left hand side pings a ball in low and fast, and Dembele at the top of the box gets a chance to swing at it, gets it off a post and in. 1-0 within the first 5 minutes, and we're already against it. First 30 was not good. We were getting stormed. Oh, this was a completely, again, we knew this, but completely different side that we just didn't know how to cope with that first 30 minutes. We did not know. We were overwhelmed with their level of press. We were just sheepish, just aimless when we tried to figure out how to go longer and reset again how we were set up. Just PSG were all over us. They were flying at full capacity, and we couldn't contend with the first 30. Over that next 15 in the first half, we were able to get back in the game. We were able to figure some things out. We were able to get some more chances. I believe that first half is where that Martinelli chance came in from Miles Lewis-Skelly off that left-hand side. And Donnarumma was equal to it. Fair play. This is the first time I've seen that, well, not the first time, but it's funny how he just decides to be world class again against us. But whatever, that's a whole nother kettle of fish. But again, we go into the second half. We thought we got a goal. It was apparently offside, which sucks. You know what I'm saying? It was offside, but it sucks because we thought it was right there off the bat. We keep playing through. They have a couple of moments. I think we grew into the game pretty well, but just the final third execution was just all off. And we end that game 1-0 loss. And it's tough. It's tough because all of this starts with the fact that Thomas Partey literally got that suspension at the Bernabeu. So it's hard to quantify everything in isolation because so much went into how we changed our structure. If Partey was in this match, that means Marino would play up top. We would have a lot more physicality and a stronger linchpin to play the longer ball if the press wasn't working earlier throughout the match. But we have Trossard, who, again, is banished from Genovia at this point because he can't put in that performance and talk to Anne Hathaway. He can't be doing all that. No sirree. So it's again, tough to put us in that way. Not enough driving quality across the front in terms of carrying with the ball and creating a bit more situations. The midfield as well can probably say the same for a lot of that, except for Rice, who had some great situations that he created, again, just on the dribble, on the run. Yeah, just overall, the overall mentality that we were pushing, but the overall quality was not there to make very significant inroads in unsettling PSG, getting them again a bit out of their shape, and then creating those moments from, again, an individual run, a moment of brilliance, and what have you. It wasn't clicking all the way. It wasn't clicking all the way, man. I don't know what to say past that. I don't want to, again, I hate harping on people. I really don't. I would rather just focus on the entire team dynamics. I would rather focus on that and giving people superlatives, but we do gotta, be honest about this. We do gotta be honest. And again, I'm talking about specifically the problems that have ailed us for a long time. Also, before we do that though, since I talked about Partey being missing, another person that was missing, of course, is missing, but that we would have loved to have in this game, Kai Havertz. I want to let people know how bad we miss Kai Havertz. Because if we had him in this game, every long ball that Raya played, 9 times out of 10, that would have been conquered. I don't think there's anybody that is as physically sound in a healthy state than Kai Havertz on that pitch. He would be the most physically dominant player. Maybe Pacho might have something for him, but he would be the most physically dominant in the air when it comes to corralling those things and getting us where we needed to go in terms of winning territory, getting up the pitch. We missed that so much. And I don't think people understand. Again, people are so ready to get a center forward and cast this guy to the side when both things are going to be as important to us going forward in establishing dominance and being quality in final third moments, winning territory and in taking our chances when we have them. I just miss him a lot. I miss him a lot. But yeah, in terms of folks that I just thought weren't on it today, man, final third specifically, Odegaard, I can't. It's indefensible. It's indefensible, the level of quality that he has not shown, whatsoever in the final third, man. The passes are too floaty or too powerful and just not on the point that we needed to. Just there are some moments where he needs to again hold control, be a bit more evasive instead of trying to be incisive, and then again establish a little bit of a beachhead for us to get in our positions and get the mechanisms of attack flowing. I understand that, but there are definitely some moments where he can take a step in or take a stab at something, take a shot, not be so sheepish and afraid of an attacking scenario, and he just absolutely doesn't do it. I don't know what's happened to his psyche when it comes to the final third, especially since he's come back from his ankle injuries. But he is allergic. He is literally allergic at this point to any forms of attack, and I hate to see it. I hate to see it, bro. Again, for what he does in terms of, again, off the ball quality, the intensity of the press, and him being at the front of that alongside another person I'm going to mention in a second. It's so hard when we have to get to these moments, and we get to these moments in the final third, and it's on your shoulders to help guide us in that way, to help guide us in that path. And just didn't see it, man. Just didn't see it. For the second leg, you have to be more incisive. You have to be more aggressive when it comes to those things. You have to be quality. You cannot mince that final ball, man. You cannot mince that final ball, especially when the chances were flowing like that in certain ways, and we're not getting as many because PSG were starting to commit very heavily off the ball. You see how they are. Dogged defense. And I give a lot of credit to PSG. I have no problems with them. You know what I'm saying? I don't got no quarrels with them or no roast or nothing like that. Their quality side, they've proven that they are the team to beat at this point in the competition with their qualities after beating Liverpool, after beating Villa, doing what they do. Like, they've proven their form is fantastic, and it's not based on just a swing of momentum. They're a quality side, obviously, but the level of, again, the physicality that we can introduce and use can only be as effective as what we build on it with. You know what I'm saying? What we do next with that. Yes, we can physically dominate them. Yeah, great. But if we're not getting these quality moments in transition and building territory consistently and creating, threatening scenarios for them, consistently, Hakimi's not on the back foot, you know what I'm saying, or always on the back foot consistently. If we can get him to those positions consistently, that was where I want to be, and I just didn't see it. And again, Odegaard just wasn't on it. Martinelli's the other person I say just wasn't on it. Again, with Hakimi being who Hakimi is, either bombing forward and needing help or whatever, pressing the issue. Yes, he's a pace monster, but you have some level of pace to yourself as well, Martinelli, and being able to try and fight with that and just taking a chance on it, because you never know where it's going to end up with that. I just thought it wasn't as aggressive as I wanted it to be, and again, some of the finishes were not as quality. The way he skied it at the end was criminal, and I'm not gonna deny that. I'm not gonna deny that. You know what I'm saying? We can call a spade here, bro. He's got to tighten up for that second leg. He's got to be more aggressive. He has to, man. With a player like Hakimi, he is extremely talented, but he is not a defensive stalwart that people may not see or may not fully. Or may falsely try to, acknowledge on him. Obviously, he's not a defensive stalwart, but you have to ask the question. You have to ask the question. And outside of those players, everybody else is pretty like par, standard, not really much to give outside of two players, which I'll get to in a second. But overall, I want to say the general outlay of the game, things just came a little bit too late. I started to see a little bit of tactical changes towards the end of the game. Like, we started committing to more diagonal switches often and got 1v1 isolated situations more often. I saw it with Saka on one end. I saw it with, again, a 1v1 before help came with Martinelli and Hakimi. Those situations were so few and far in between throughout the game, but then in the last 15-20 minutes, then they started flowing. That needed to happen much earlier. That needed to happen way earlier to be effective. And the other thing, just carrying with the ball to try and make an impact and try and make something happen. Only two players I saw really were able to do that consistently. Again, Declan Rice, Miles Lewis-Skelly. The only two players I saw that were really able to make a difference in a midfield that is susceptible to that in certain ways. They're going to set up, again, they're going to be wary of those passes, going to be quick to press, but if you're strong enough in that carry and you're going to drag bodies with you, you can make things happen. You can unsettle them, and we didn't see enough of that. We saw it happen too late. And you know, another adjustment again, Saka, there was moments where Saka was on the left hand side, and I think a big chance came in where him and Martinelli swapped wings, and he got a cross out, and Martinelli he missed it just by a little bit, and that would have been again a great situation if we continue to exploit. If we get Saka on Hakimi's side and let him again whip in crosses from there, and let Martinelli be on the back post and be a poacher, be where he again probably is a lot more comfortable instead of being a 1v1 ISO artist, which we've seen is not his bag at this level. You know what I'm saying? I wish it was, but this is not his bag at this level with this amount of pressure around the fixture. So it's that level of making the adjustments earlier. They should have made these adjustments earlier at a micro level. I understand, you know, where the team is at, but in essence of the game in isolation, those had to come earlier. Subs had to come earlier as well. Having Timber on there, having an attacking change in terms of White being in the final third, and hopefully again adding some flow to those final third entries, that would have been great seeing earlier. Waneri should have been much earlier in my opinion. I think again I can agree with many people out there, and I think many people agree with me that he did more to introduce some dynamism in the final third than Odegaard did for most of that game. Seeing him earlier would have been a welcome change. Giving Saka that central access as well, that would have been welcome to see, but just happened too late. And we can't afford to be too late in any of these instances, man. Again, we're lucky it's 1-0 right now at this point. We could have had some back, but we could have had some more scored against us. We're lucky it's 1-0. We have something to salvage, definitely, and go for it, but we can't be too late. We cannot be too late. But before we get up out of here, I do want to end on a positive. Saka today, I think still, even though, again, we didn't get the result that we wanted, still proved that he is a absolute world-class player, bro. The way, the respect that he commanded from PSG and what he was able to get out of those touches, I thought was still very quality. I thought he still got a lot of things done, and it was just... he's just world class, man. He's just world class, and that's all you can really say about him. You can't give him no less than he's a world class player that demands the respect of every team he plays against, bar none. So that's something I can give for him. And Miles Lewis-Skelly, again, a huge matchup with Desiree Doué, and I thought he was really equal to it. I thought he did a wonderful job maintaining Doué for many portions of the game and many spells of the game. And again, his carrying ability, just the no fear attitude, he has shown that he absolutely belongs, and that guy is worth 100 million plus, bro. That's $100 million worth of game. No Wallow, you know what I'm saying? No, none of them people, bro. No Gillian Wallow in any of them, bro. I'm telling you, Miles Lewis-Skelly, fantastic. I thought he was really good. But adjustments at the Parc des Princes, Partey will be back, so probably we'll see Marino back in 9. So hopefully we can exert some more physical control over this fixture, over this matchup. And again, just the individual dynamism and the individual quality at the final third and in the final third, going into the final third, it has to be much sharper. The final ball was so poor today, and that's the key. We just need that action to be tighter, man. We have to. We found our way through the press. We found our way to establish some levels of control throughout the game. Although, again, other parts were a little bit sloppy, and the longer ball to help us establish things, it was not as controlled as we needed it to be because Marino was not up front. We don't have a recognized 9 right now. Havertz is out. Jesus is out, so we can't do it to the level that we wanted to. But even so, with the players available, even then we couldn't do it how we wanted to because we had to make up for the suspension. Fair. But make those adjustments quicker. Go for that. I like the mentality that we had, that we kept going for it and we kept probing and finding solutions, but now it's about quality. Now it's about finding that magic moment and willing it to be through your quality, through your consistency, through your efforts. That's all there is to it. Bottom line, I still believe we can get a result at the Parc des Princes. I still believe we can go there and win. I still believe we can get to a Champions League final. That's what we got to do. All I do is believe, man. You know what I'm saying? Till the wheels fall off. That's all we can do, right? That's all we can do. But let me know what you thought of this matchup, the performances, everything in the comment section below. We're going to get to, you know what I'm saying, talking about this over the week to come. We have a game in between there on Saturday against Bournemouth. I don't know how anybody's going to be up for that at this point. Just get me a cheeky 1-0 win and let's just get up out of there because I don't care. And then we can move on from there. But in the meantime, in between time, I am Full-Time Trip. That is all the time we got. And I'll see y'all later. I almost messed that up. All right, we're getting out of here, man. Listen, I'm hungry, but we still believe. COYJ. Peace.